Hey everybody, thank you very much for joining me in the den today for today's shave. I hope you're doing very well. My name is Mark. If we've not met before, I'm very pleased to meet you. So today I'm going to be using the Merkur 34G and I'm going to be using a feather blade in that, and there is the wrapper. Now I've got my Yaki 24mm Sagrada Familia brush, and we're going to have a Proraso Green shave today. I had this little pot come the other day from Steve Dalton. I'm sure a lot of you have seen that video, and in fact the 34G was loaned to me by Steve, so we're going to be shaving with those today. I've got the brush loaded, so I'll wipe my face again and we'll get going. And I'm going to face lather today with this Proraso Green. Now I've loaded the brush up. The Sagrada Familia is a tuxedo knot, as you can see. It is named after the Basilica of the Holy Family. In Barcelona. Now I can't really see why it is named after that. Perhaps the golden light coming through the windows is reminiscent of that. Perhaps, I don't know. But it is a very nice brush. Now I haven't used Proraso Green for a very long time. Many of you will know that I prefer the white, Proraso white. But I thought I would give this a go again, as it was kindly sent to me. And Proraso is made in Florence in Italy, and this Proraso Green line was their first line of production, and it's been going apparently since 1908, so a really good history there. And it was 40 years after, 1948, that they apparently brought out the pre and aftershave cream. So I found that to be quite interesting. One presumes that for 40 years there was only the soap. And if you're not aware, the Proraso Green is made with eucalyptus oil and menthol. So it is a cooling, refreshing shave. And it seems to be going on very nicely. I will try the shave with the 34G again, and I'm using the feather blade because I wanted to try, a mild razor with a very sharp blade. So this is the first use of the feather. I always find with the feather on the first shave, it's not as smooth as it could be. It improves on the second shave, but it's still very good. With this razor, it feels really quite nice with this razor, to be honest. I seem to have got the angle just perfectly today, and these little short strokes around my mouth and chin seem to work very well, just to take that first bit of growth away. I would say, what's the angle on that? That's about 45 degrees, isn't it? I think so. I think at a 45-degree angle. Seems to suit me very, very nicely. Now, the last time I used this 34G, I remember it not being that smooth. That must have been whatever razor blade I used in it that day. I'd have to refer back to find out, but with that feather blade, that was a really, really nice first pass. I chose the Yaqui Sagrada Familia because I felt it went very nicely with the gold Merkur razor there. Now I've got a thin lather, I would say, on this soap. There's plenty of water in it. Especially on the second pass, it's looking a bit thin. And maybe for the third pass I may just go. In fact, I'm going to go back to the pot because that's a little bit too thin for me. So I'm just going to dip the tips in my water and get that straight on the pot, and I will clean that up later. The soap will pop out of its little tub, so I know I can really clean that and dry that later. I've got a little box for the Proraso Green here, and on the front it says shaving soap in a bowl. I think that is a stretch too far, really. It is a shaving soap in a plastic pot, but there we go. You don't need to have terrific skills to be in marketing, you just need to be able to lie. There we are, that's much better. Much thicker lather now. found, you know, that doing a downward pass as my first pass, which is mainly with the grain, and then following that up with another downward pass, but sort of doing a slightly more diagonally shaving, you know what I mean. It seems to suit me very well. So yeah, downward on the first pass, a little bit diagonally on the second pass, and then on my neck going upwards on the third pass. And again, really on the third pass, I've taken sort of going against the grain, but also more diagonally. Rather than going, you know, directly against the line of growth. It seems to work very well for me. I seem to get very nice shaves. Without any irritation. I think that's what we all want, isn't it? So I think finding your sort of optimum is quite an important thing to do when you're starting out, particularly. You know, finding out not only which way your hair grows, but how well you can shave against the grain or diagonally against the grain, to find out which suits you best, which gets you closest, which irritates you the least. Because I think there's you know, there's a line there, isn't there, between the sort of getting the best shave of your life, but also getting a comfortable shave. They're not necessarily the same thing. Now going in an upward direction on my neck. And again, for me, you see, that is not completely against the grain. Against the grain on my neck, I would have to go slightly diagonally that way. And very, very lightly over there. Very lightly. But if you are going to experiment, I would recommend experimenting with a mild razor rather than your aggressive razor. I must admit, I'm quite liking this Proraso Green. It is very fresh, very invigorating. It is a long time since I've used Proraso Green, I think. But one thing I've never done, and it might surprise you, I've never used the Proraso Green soap with the Proraso Green aftershave. So I'm going to do that today. We're going to be going for maximum Proraso invigoration. It's just the way it worked out. I tried Proraso Green quite early on. I bought the white first. That was my first sort of shaving soap that I bought along with Palmolive. And I bought the white because it said for sensitive skin. I tried the green, didn't like it as much. But at that time I hadn't discovered the green splash, and you know, that is a fantastic thing. Now actually, after rinsing my face, I've got quite good slickness with this soap. Really pretty good. Not the best, but then it's not a very expensive soap at all. But yeah, certainly very, very nice slickness. And I have to say, a very nice shave indeed. That Merkur 34G is really, really nice with a feather blade. Now, talking about gold razors. One of the gentlemen, Readyland, that won the Backroads Gold competition, has had his flare tip razor replated in gold, and it looks fantastic. I've seen the picture. I'll put them up on the community side of the YouTube page shortly, but we're also still waiting for word from William Bublitz. Please, if you're watching this, get in touch, sir. You've won a terrific giveaway. Haven't heard from you yet. I hope wherever you are that you have just not got in touch with me, but you've sent your razor off to Chris at Backroads Gold. But if that's not the case, get in touch, sir, please. Now we're going to go with Proraso Green. Do you know, I still feel the menthol. I definitely got a little bit of a anaesthetized skin there, just very slightly. Definitely a lovely scent coming off the soap. And we're going to top that up with a really good slosh of the marvellous green aftershave. I have got the new Nivea in here, or one of them. But as I've not used the green, with the splash, I thought that was the way to go. And you know what? That's a wonderful shave. So it just goes to show you that you do not need really expensive products to have a brilliant shave. And I think sometimes we forget that and we get caught up in the sort of new products and the stainless steel razors and different soaps that come out. But this one, Proraso Green, was very enjoyable today. Thank you for joining me and being part of my shave. I'll be back soon for some more videos. You take care now. Bye bye.